Final fight of TFC.
Season
3, yeah.
All right, final fight of Season 3.
Oh, God. Out of all the fights, man, this is the fight that was super interesting. You'll see.
So this is like the championship of the championships.
of the championship.
Okay.
And it's Latvia, who we saw beat the Tar out of the UK.
All right.
Slavyanin right there.
So they got home team advantage.
Yeah, home team advantage. And in fact, I think they got too much home team advantage because they didn't have 2 fights. All the other teams had 2 fights. And I think what happened was the Brazilians, they had a person hurt. So the Brazilians were supposed to fight the Latvians, but since the Brazilian team got eliminated and didn't have an extra fighter, the Latvians just got to the finals with just 1 fight.
Wow.
So it's kind of a little unfair. So
crazy.
And the Americans, you saw them. They fought the Russians and the Polish. Yeah. So they had 2 fights, and now they're fighting a 3rd fight.
Wow. Okay.
There's a little bit of home team advantage for the Latvians. Actually, a lot of home team advantage. So.
All right. So here we go. The U.S. highlights against Russia.
Exactly.
Strong.
Mr. Ryan.
Stacked elbows.
Stacked elbows. That's right. Ryan has his broken hand, remember?
That's right.
And he snapped it during the fight with the Polish, and he fought the Russians with a broken hand. And now he's going to fight the Latvians with a broken hand. Oh, man. And guys, let's hope there's another season. And if you guys want another season, let us know in the comments or let us know in the poll right here if you want another season.
Yeah.
Because this is the last fight. I mean, we're still going to do more TFC breakdowns, but as for new fights, this is the last fight. So there's going to be no more new fights that we can do commentary over. But, of course, there's so much material fight-wise that we could explore from TFC. And this is the official announcer, Jim Cooley.
Jim Cooley.
And Jody. So that's a breakdown of the fighters. And
Nice.
pretty evenly matched. A little taller on the Latvian side, slightly heavier. But I think that's just because they got a few guys that are super big. Like Janka the Giant, like my friend Chen says, and Slavyanin. Slavyanin, by the way, passed away.
Bummer.
Yeah, bummer. He was in Ukraine doing bad stuff. I don't know what side he was on. I think he was in the pro-government militia side. But, yeah, in a shootout, Slavyanin died. So this is team captain Riha. The chief judge of TFC is also Riha's coach. So
It's interesting that they don't tape the glove shut. Usually those gloves are taped shut so that they don't accidentally come off.
Exactly. Makes sense. Oh, dancers again. Of course.
Bolshi's finest.
Yep. I wonder if this is the same dance from the previous fights, or is like they just had one fight and they just cut it for every single one of these.
I think I recognize that, the blonde.
I guess we'll see by the dance moves. Remember the previous one, we saw that they did the splits and then the backflip. If they do it again, then we know it's probably the same dance that they just intercut between all these fights. But boom,
they got the skills.
got the skills. Wonder how good they'd be dancing. I mean, sorry, fighting. Got the kicks.
Jury's distracted.
That's right. I got a lot of controversy when I said that I don't think having these dancers before a fight's a good idea. But some people say no, it gets the adrenaline pumping, the testosterone pumping, and maybe it actually helps a fighter fight better. But I think it's distracting.
I can tell you 100% it's distracting.
It's distracting. That's what I think. Because instead of fighting now, the past 5 minutes you're just thinking about the girls.
Yeah, you are not thinking about women before a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
You are peeing about 20 times, and you're like super nervous, and you're kind of like second guessing everything.
Yeah.
Tyson has a really great quote. He talks about like how when he's in the locker room, he's like terrified for his life because he's about to go and fight somebody who's like trained to hurt him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as he walks out into the arena, he starts to get gradually more and more confident. And then by the time he's like reached the cage, he's like, these mortals have nothing on me. Like I'm gonna feel their muscles collapse underneath my fists and all that stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Well, now I know why Tyson was so good.
Yeah.
So you get all the nervousness in the locker room, and then when you're on stage now, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Here comes the American boys, peak submission. Ryan with his broken hand, man, God. Ryan's the big guy on the American team. That's Allen. And so they substituted a few people out. Jody's son-in-law was not in this fight, I just realized. Jody's the coach for the American team.
Gotcha. So it's no surprise that the American team, I think they're from Ohio, right?
Yep.
So these are all mostly wrestlers.
Yep. This guy right here was in season 2 also.
Nice.
And the Latvians have bulked up, but the Americans have bulked up too, so, man. And the Latvians beat the tar out of the Americans in season 2. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of probably psychological advantage that the Latvians have. So there. Man. So, Ryan's going up against Medved, the Olympic wrestler on the Latvian team.
Olympic wrestler?
Yeah, Olympic wrestler. So, Riha's going up against the submission specialist, which is a good idea, on the right side. So I think they've matched it pretty evenly. Mm-hmm. So here they go.
Bam. Wow.
Very controlled.
Yeah.
Some of them were.
Double leg takedown immediately, side control. This guy's pushing him up against the ropes.
Uh-oh.
He's rolling for full mount. Guillotine, got it. Bam.
No.
That was so fast.
So fast. And the biggest guy in the American team got taken out.
Yeah, this guy's just choking people out left and right.
Yep.
He's like, I got this. Don't worry. You guys go fight other people.
Oh, no.
He's just collecting heads.
Yep.
Who's this beast? He's just like, I'm just going to choke this guy.
Yeah, that's Medved, the wrestler.
Oh, well. And he's the Olympic wrestler?
Yeah, the Olympic wrestler.
Gosh, man, there's levels, dude. You know what I mean? It's like when you got somebody who is just levels above everybody else. He literally has taken out 2 people already.
Yeah. And this is really bad now. Oh, Slavyanin's humongous. Look how jacked he is.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Man. So when someone's like in full guard like that and they're just raining down punches, you really gotta break their posture. Mm-hmm. Break their posture. Grab a shoulder lock, work the arm bar, or go for a rubber guard, and then either arm bar, omoplata, triangle. There's so many variations that you can do. You just don't sit in full guard and just take damage.
Makes sense.
There's just no point in doing that.
Look at Slavyanin. He's like, yeah, we won it.
Wow, man, that was fast.
Fast.
Very fast.
Man.
Good show of respect for everybody.
Yep. And it's a redemption for the Latvians because they lost to the Polish in season 2.
Interesting.
So the Americans got redeemed too because they lost the first round. So they made it to the finals, and the 2 teams that lost the first time now made it to the finals together.
It just goes to show you, man. There's such a slim. What do you call it? Opportunity for error.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like these guys in one fight they're super dominant, and in the other fight they get their butts whooped, and all that matters is like one little error on one person's part, and then all of a sudden there's 5 on 4.
Yeah.
So it can shift so quickly.
Exactly.
So crazy. I think the MVP here is Medved, right?
Yeah. He definitely, especially for this round. Man, Slavyanin's definitely on some steroids.
He's huge.
Yeah.
He's massive.
And wow, so the Latvians have won this, and I believe they get $5,000.
Oh, that's great.
So that's not a lot, but I guess it's all about the love for fighting.
Yeah, and you get to sit in a bar for the rest of your life and be like, one time I was a TFC champion.
That's right. There's Janka right there. Janka charged in really quickly. Slavyanin also took down.
This was interesting because the guy just slapped on, Medved just slapped on that mounted guillotine so fast.
Yeah. And Ryan's a grappler too, so I'm really curious what happened. How did Ryan get caught in that guillotine?
Oh, bro, levels, man. Mm-hmm. There's just levels. There's levels between black belts, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you can have 2 black belts and have one be a world champion, and he'll make the other one look like a white belt.
That's true.
That's
true. So here are the details. I'm really curious to see what happened in this fight. Here's Medved, our Olympic wrestler. Igor Kostin is his full name.
Medved is the true MVP.
Yep. And this is Ryan fighting with a broken hand.
I bet Medved could probably do 2-on-1. You know what I mean? I bet you, like, if he was in a 2-on-1 fight, it would probably be like the more even of the of these matchups.
So Medved's aggressing.
Yeah, he's explosive, man. I mean, like he's throwing bombs, and then he just grabs a hold of the neck. He says, "All right, I'm choking you. good leverage, just absolutely good leverage.
What could have Ryan done? Because he was in a bad position when the guillotine was...
Well, he exposed his neck, to an Olympic wrestler, which is a terrible idea. Initially what Medved looked like he was about to do was what's called a snap down, which is where you take the guy's face and you basically throw it into the mat. From that. It almost looks like a north-south position. But it's like a bulldog position, kind of. You've got them in a guillotine, but your head is next to their head, and anyway, it's a snap down. But he ended up rolling and then throwing him in a mounted guillotine.
Oh, that's what happened. Ow! So Sean Barnett ate a knee from Riha. So, and then he didn't even have time because now Mr. Igor K. Medved comes and chokes him out too.
What it looks like Latvia does a really good job of is they know you do a flurry to close the distance, but then you slap on a submission as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah.
They're not like trying to finish people with punches once they've closed the distance.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like he switched the momentum, he pivoted, kneed him, and then as soon as he was within range to submit him, he grabbed a hold of him and tried to submit him immediately.
Yeah. Exactly. I think they learned their lesson from the previous season, because the previous season, especially the last fight, their good fighters were taking too long to beat the Polish fighters, and then Riha, the guy we just saw before, got destroyed by one of the Polish fighters, and then it just went downhill. Yeah. And Medved was actually guilty of that. Medved took too long to choke out or do whatever. So by the time it happened, the Polish fighter was pounding his head. He was getting 2-on-1. Yeah. This is Kuvulda. Kuvulda's the best fighter on the Latvian team, maybe even the best fighter in TFC.
Wow. So
it's over there.
So he's doing a good job of keeping his weight on that leg so that he doesn't get heel hooked. American is trying his best to try and pivot him so that he can unstabilize him so he could attack that leg. So this is the one where I think we were saying, like, if you're in full guard, you don't just take damage, you don't just sit there and take damage. You actively work to break the posture. But he's got two guys on one.
And
so
Medved's
just, you're not
pounding him.
Yeah.
And now 3 guys.
Yeah, that's impossible.
3, and then, man.
That's a terrible place to be.
Exactly. Oh, man, poor guy. And he fought Janka in the second season.
Damn.
So this guy's not afraid, but just not being afraid is not enough to fight 2 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's all bloodied out.
Yeah, man.
God.
I mean, you have to go into these fights thinking that you're going to get bloodied up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if you go into this fight not expecting that, you're going to be so. There's going to be like a shock when you see your own blood, and then that's going to have a psychological effect on you. So you have to prepare yourself. Oh, my nose will be broken. I will be cut. You know, that sort of thing.
Oh, man, poor dude. Man, so Medved choked him out too. It's crazy. Medved choked out 3 people.
He had a good day, man.
Yeah, he had a good day. And it's a good redemption because he got at least 20 hammer fists on the back of his head at the end of season 2.
Wow.
So Medved definitely lost a lot of brain cells in season 2.
But something worked.
Yeah, something worked.
Something switched on.
Yeah. And it was not his fault. It was because his teammate lost the fight. So Luciano, the guy, just went and pounded him. So this is Janka.
Oh, good double leg. So now he's in half guard. Anytime someone's in half guard, I always think immediately to push the knee down and try and go to full mount. People don't think that you can finish a fight from half guard in terms of like a Kimura, but you absolutely can.
I see.
So I usually pull that. It's only usually white belts or blue belts that aren't expecting it. So you just grab the arm, Kimura them from half guard, and they're kind of like shocked.
I see. So Janka really just held Allen down while his teammate was pounding Allen, or American. So,
man, it's just crazy.
It's crazy. And Janka even told me that after TFC, he hasn't been doing well MMA wise. So yeah, I think he's also getting a little older. So even though he's a big ass guy, he's just getting a little older. So I wanted to interview Janka, but Janka's like, I'm not doing well in my MMA career. I feel ashamed. I'm like, dude, this doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude, it does not matter. The thing is that like, it's a sport where, top level people, on any given night, anybody can win.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you're fighting, street fights or whatever it is, you can rack up a 300-0 record or a 301 record, but that's because you're fighting people who aren't trained.
Exactly.
You fight people who are killers, it's much more evenly matched.
Exactly. So it's him. This is the guy who we saw. Slavyanin just took him down. Mm-hmm. Boom.
Yeah, well, his chin was up, and he was not looking to strike anyway. So I think he was kind of glad to be on the ground. But then he's in side control. So in order to reverse this, what he needs to do is he needs to push his left arm up over his shoulder towards the guy that's on side control's left shoulder. So it's kind of like a diagonal 45-degree push. Oh. And it will cause the guy's head to go over his head so that he can escape from the bottom.
I see. Yeah. It's just so intimidating when a guy that big is on top of you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why you have to use leverage.
Yeah,
exactly. You absolutely have to use leverage, and that's why, like, wherever the head goes, the body follows.
Yeah.
So instead of putting the meat of your bicep on their neck, you put the meat of your bicep like on their temple, and you push their head in that 45-degree direction. And because their head goes that direction, because their neck's not strong enough to go against your arm, their body follows their head.
Ah, that's the start of creating the leverage for what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes sense.
So this guy's passed away, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, what a bummer.
And the thing is, Slavyanin wasn't actually a very good fighter if you look at his record. But he's massive.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, man. Probably an adrenaline junkie to go down to Ukraine to go do stuff. Yeah.
That was with the Russian invasion?
Yeah, exactly, with the Russian invasion of Crimea.
Wow.
So, yeah. Riha's gotten a lot more jacked, so the team captain's gotten a lot more jacked. So, I don't know if... So, yeah, this guy's gotten a lot more jacked. I tried to friend him on Facebook, but he hasn't accepted me yet.
Come on, guy.
Yeah, come on, Riha. His name is Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
Get your stuff together, man.
Exactly. So this is the Americans. They were finals. Oh, look at them all scratched up. Jody, you can tell he's a little not happy. Oh, Ryan's like, fuck.
Yeah, man. It's got to be discouraging. Like, you put in a lot of work for that,
Exactly. Oh, look at them. Oh. So.
Jason Pelsey's calling me right now.
Nice. Jay, sit. So.
Hey, Jay Bird. Oh, we're just doing a really awesome fight commentary breakdown with Jerry.
That's right.
Yeah. You're on Jerry's channel right now.
That's right.
He says, "What's up, Jerry?"
What's up? So, look at the size of that stadium. This is the stadium that they held TFC.
Dang, that's a huge stadium.
Yeah, let's go back there again. Look. So, this has so much potential, guys. If TFC could just, get there. Look at this. Imagine a stadium filled with people watching.
Yeah. So, Jason, we're just finishing up a fight commentary breakdown with Jerry. Are you playing piano tonight?
I am.
All right.
I'm doing things like that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna come. We're gonna come watch you.
Awesome. And for those of you watching fight commentary, we will have a link to Jason's channel. So if you guys like martial arts but on the piano, you guys will have a link to his channel. So go subscribe to him.
Jason does have a kung fu background.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We need to bring him on then, too.
Exactly. Jason Pelsey coming at you in the next episode.
Exactly. So this was Fight Commentary Breakdown, everyone. Subscribe to Jason's channel. Subscribe to Rob's channel. We'll have a lot more TFC breakdowns.
Yes.
All right. Talk to you guys soon.